whispering going on around here. All right, so now we're going to start chapter 8. Consumer math. So section 8.1 is percent. Percent, taxes, and inflation. All right, so first topic is percents. Number 1, 30%. Can I just put 30% into my calculator? Like, where's the percent button? So Dean says 30% is actually 0.30. So I cannot put this into my calculator. I can put this in my calculator. So I need to take this and move the decimal place 2 places, because I cannot put this in my calculator. Cannot put this in my calculator, so move decimal place. Two spots to the left to use. So that's what we need to do. We move it 2 spots to the left to be able to use it. So if something's 10% off, if you have a 7% sales tax, I can't put those numbers into my calculator, right? Or is there a button? Even if there is a button, this takes less time for me to find the button than to do this, right? Maybe, what about your calculator, Nathan? You do? Yeah, some of those lesser, but if you put in 30 and then hit the percent, it just changes it to this. So it takes, I personally think it takes longer time to hit the percent button. Okay, so we're just changing percents into decimals. Again, I can't put the percent into my calculator. I can put the decimal into my calculator. All right, so change it, 125%. Okay, so how did you guys write that as a decimal? 1.25. I think a lot of people here are business majors. I've heard from the business department that sometimes this is people's most challenging issue, is they can't figure out percents and they can't multiply. Order of operations, percents, those are all things you guys need in the business department, right? And marketing and a lot of things like that. So make sure you're changing a percent to a decimal. You guys, if you're in the business department, you guys have to take sheets, databases, sheets, and something like that. If you have to do stuff in the computer, in Excel and other things like that, you have to use the decimal. Unless you want to like type in percent, which is like dumb. I mean, just write it like this instead of finding a thing for it. Okay, 13.2%. What's that? 0.132. Good. I think I heard, what's your guys' student loan interest rate? What's your guys' student loan percentage rate? Raise your hand if you have any idea. Raise your hand if you have student loans. Well, a lot of you guys are very lucky. You guys don't have student loans on this side? Oh my gosh. I'm very jealous. Good for you guys. Work that.
Mine's 4.5.
4.5%? You just look it up.
Yeah. 4.53.
4.53%. Last semester I asked that question and people didn't know, and I said go home and find out. I had one student come back and say his was 11%. I think this is about average. If you have a student loan at 11%, you're being robbed and you don't even know it. Literally. You signed a piece of paper and didn't even know. I think if you Google the average, this is probably about average. Is yours a federal student loan? So this is probably about average, but I think I had one student who took out a student loan from a bank, and his was 11%, you guys. Once you graduate, that changes your payment by at least $100 a month. You're just giving to somebody. If you don't have a student loan, I don't know how that's working out for you, but if your parents are looking for adoption, I'm here. I'm available. And I'm a great daughter. I already have kids. They're cute if your parents are interested. All right. How do we write this as a percentage? Point. Stop doing it in your calculator. Put it away. What is it? 0.0453. 53. I heard something that with this coronavirus going around. What? What?
It had this really funny post I saw this week.
So the coronavirus, I heard, it affects the market, right? Like in China, everything is shut down, right? So I heard that China, in order to kind of stimulate the economy, they've decreased interest rates by 0.1%. Oh gosh, what does that mean? 0.1%. Oh gosh, I don't even know what that means. What is 1/10 as a number? 0.01, 0.1%. Okay, let's write that as a number we can use. So decreased interest rates by 0.1%. What does that even mean? How do I use that number? Okay, so now how do we use that number? 0.001. Emily knows. Okay. But seriously, stuff like that, everybody's quarantined, everybody stay inside, nobody's buying anything, right? So they try to decrease interest rates, decrease things like that in order for people to spend more money. Okay, so on that happy note, we're finished for today. Everybody look up your student loan interest rates.